Hi everyone, today we're going to do a upper body strength flow, so we'll still be hitting that lower body too. Focusing in on that upper body today though. Go ahead and start laying down on your mat with cactus arms, so your elbows are bent to 90 degrees and arms are out to the side. Start with your knees bent and just center into your breath. Let yourself settle here and start mentally preparing for the practice today. Breathe slow and deep. With your inhales, let your ribs fully expand. And with your exhales, let your ribs pull down towards your hips. Your belly button pulls in towards your spine. Now start exaggerating that movement to get a little movement in your spine. Inhale and arch your back. Let your chin tuck. Exhale, flatten your low back onto the mat. Let your head rock back. Let's take a few breaths here, really focusing in on that center line, that length of your spine that runs down your mat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten your back. Then relax your spine, find that neutral spine, and pull those knees up to your chest. Straighten your right leg out while you pull your left knee towards your chest, and lengthen your left arm towards the wall behind you. Inhale, length, then exhale, switch sides. Straighten out your left leg, pull your right leg in, and lengthen your right arm overhead. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lengthen, reach down past your toes, past your fingers. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, switch. You're just getting some good movement here through your hip joints, your shoulders, and your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, switch. Last one. Pull both knees into your chest, and then stretch your arms overhead so they're both reaching towards that wall behind you, and straighten both legs towards the ceiling. Then you're going to lower your right leg, bring it back up, lower your left leg. Exhale, pull up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back to start. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Keep your low back pressed into the mat. Your core is strong. That belly button pulls towards your spine. Everything stays still except for your legs. And don't let yourself rock all over the place. This challenges all those little stabilizers around your pelvis and your spine. Pull your knees into your chest again, relax your abs, and then stretch your arms back overhead. And this time, put both legs together, and you're going to inhale and lower them about 1/3 of the way. Exhale, pull them back up. Inhale, lower them about 2/3 of the way. Exhale, pull them back up. And then inhale, lower as low as you can without that low back pulling up from the mat. Then exhale, back to start. Bring your hands behind your head and crunch yourself up. Then straighten out your right leg and reach towards your left. You're going to go back and forth. So lower your left leg, reach your left arm towards your right leg. Lower your right leg, reach your right arm towards your left. Back and forth. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back to start. And if this is very challenging to you, just focus on breathing and trying to make the movements as smooth as possible. Go ahead and pull those knees back to your chest, and we're going to roll over to hands and knees. First, let's curl back to down dog, stretching into that first dog of the day. Pedal out those feet. Your hamstrings are probably tight, so don't force your way into this pose. Just find your feet, find your toes, find your fingers, press them into the mat, and work towards straightening those elbows and knees. Let gravity pull your head and your shoulders down, lengthening your spine out of your hips. You can throw in a little twist to really start opening up those hips. Just getting some good movement here. And inhale, come up to plank. Roll those shoulders back, and then exhale back to down dog. We're going to move back and forth through that. Inhale to plank, warming up those shoulders a little bit more. Exhale to down dog. And again, inhale to plank. Make sure you roll those shoulders back and down. Exhale to down dog. Inhale back to plank. Exhale to down dog. Good. Lower your knees to the mat. You're going to warm up those arms. Move through a few chaturangas. So exhale here, and then inhale as you lower your chest towards the mat just as far as you can control and still press back up. So inhale to lower, exhale, press back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, press back up. Keep your belly button pulled towards your spine. It's better if your butt sticks up than your pelvis collapses to the mat. Keep that good shoulder alignment. Sit back to child's pose for a moment and just breathe. Let those arms relax. And try to find a mindset where you welcome that warmth going through your arms and your shoulders and your core. It's good work that you're doing here. Then inhale and walk yourself back up to the top of your mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale all the way up to stand. Settle into your mountain pose. Find your weight right between your toes and your heels. Then inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, place your hands and step back to plank. Pull that belly button in, roll those shoulders back, and then exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, and exhale to down dog. Breathe here. With each down dog, you get a little bit deeper, stretch into those hamstrings. You can shake out your head. And then inhale, look up at your hands and walk back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, roll all the way back up to prayer. We're going to do another sun salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, place your hands and step back to plank. As you lower to chaturanga, try to hover your chest just above the mat as you point your toes back, and then shift to up dog, and then exhale to down dog. Breathe here. Let yourself calm with your breath. Inhale, look up at your hands, walk back up to the top of your mat. Inhale to a flat back, exhale, fold, and then inhale all the way back up to prayer. Inhale to chair this time, toes together, knees together, and sit your hips back like there's a chair behind you. Gaze up at your hands. Exhale, fold forward, straighten out your legs. Inhale to a flat back, and exhale, step or jump back to plank. Exhale to chaturanga, hover above the mat, point your toes, and inhale to up dog, then exhale to down dog. Inhale, pull that right knee up to your chest and step it up next to your hand. Spin your left heel down for warrior one. Orient both hips forward. And when you're steady, inhale your arms up. Press down into the outer edge of your left foot and pin your right hip in, lengthening your inner thigh forward so your right knee points over your third toe. Hold here. Both legs are strong, like you're trying to pull them out apart with your feet. Exhale your hands to the mat and step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, hover above the mat, and then inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. And then inhale, pull that left knee up to your chest, step it up, and spin your right heel down for warrior one. Inhale your arms up. Your legs are strong, pressing down through both feet, through the heels and the toes. Make sure that left hip is pinned in so your knee orients over the third toe. Nice slow breaths here. Keep your back legs strong. Your kneecap is pulled up so your quads are active. Then exhale your hands to the mat and step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe here. Feel that heat starting to build through your body as everything starts warming up. Blood is flowing. Your hamstrings should start feeling looser now. Your shoulders should be looser. You can drop your chest down a little bit more. And then inhale, walk your feet back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale back to chair. And then exhale to stand. Settle back in here for a moment. And then inhale to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your feet back to plank. Hold here. Pull that belly button in. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. And then inhale, pull your right knee up to your chest. Exhale, lower it to the mat. Inhale, pull it back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull it up, and step your hand up for crescent lunge this time. So your left heel stays up. Both hips point forward. And when you're steady here, inhale your arms up. Sink as deep into this crescent lunge as you can. Aim to get that right thigh parallel to the mat. And press your left heel towards that wall behind you so your leg is straight. Bring your hands down to your heart. I'm just moving so you can actually get a better view of this pose. Drop your left knee down to the mat and bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And bring your hands back to prayer, gently twisting yourself so that your shoulders are stacked and you're gazing to your right. If you're steady here, straighten that left leg all the way. Keep that leg strong. Keep that right hip pinned in and come up to that twisted crescent. Breathe here. Even though you're twisted, when you inhale, lengthen that spine and then exhale, twist a little deeper. Go ahead and straighten out your legs, untwist. Step your left foot a little closer so you can straighten both legs, and drop your head down towards your shin. Flex your right foot if you'd like to get a calf stretch as well, and exhale into that intense hamstring stretch. On your inhales, lengthen your spine. On your exhales, move a little deeper. And always make sure you're pulling that right hip back and bringing that left hip a little forward to keep your hips square. Come back up to the top of your mat and step back to down dog. Inhale, pull your left knee up to your chest. Exhale it down. Inhale, pull your knee up. Exhale it to the mat. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale down. Inhale, pull it up and step your foot up for crescent lunge on the left side. Your right heel stays up and presses towards the wall behind you. As you sink into your crescent, raise your arms up. Make sure you're pinning the left hip in, sending the inner thigh forward. Your left knee should point over your third toe to create a nice straight line from hip to knee. Exhale your hands to your heart and lower your right knee to the mat. And then bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Hands come back to prayer in front of your chest as you twist yourself open. When you're steady here, straighten up your right leg, coming into that twisted crescent lunge. Breathe here. Keep your right leg as straight as you can, and let your left leg hold your body up. Bring your knee back to the mat, and step your right foot closer so you can straighten out both legs. Make sure your hips are still oriented to the front, so you pull that left hip back a little, send the right hip forward a little. Flex your left foot, and exhale. Drop yourself down, bringing your head towards your shin. Inhale your spine long, and exhale, fold a little deeper. Bring your hands back to the mat, step back to down dog. And notice if your hamstrings feel any looser here. Are your heels getting any closer to the mat? Do you feel any more comfortable in this down dog? You can pedal out your feet. And just settle in and enjoy your down dog here. Then inhale to plank. And let's lower to your forearms. I'm going to do a forearm plank here. So bring your thumbs and your pointer fingers together, and your elbows should be directly under your shoulders, and you're holding yourself in that forearm plank. It's okay if your butt comes up a little bit. It's better that than everything sagging down towards the mat. Keep that belly button pulled in, and lengthen the back of your neck, lengthen your shoulders. Don't let them shrug up to your ears. Next, we're going to move into a forearm side plank. So shift your weight over to the right side, and if this is very challenging for you, it's okay to drop down to your knees. Bend your knees to that 90-degree angle. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders, and if you're steady here, you can raise that left arm up towards the ceiling. Just make sure as you hold here that you're still externally rotating those arms and keeping your shoulders from cinching up to your ears. Hold, and then exhale your forearms back to the mat. Reset in your forearm plank, and then we're going to roll to the left side. So if you did bent knees on the other side, go ahead and bend your knees here. Pull those shoulders out of your ears, roll those shoulders back and down. Pull your belly button in, and stack your hips, stack your shoulders. Try to create that straight line from your head to your knees. Bring your hands back to the mat. Reset your plank. And we're going to do that one more time. If you'd like to try the full plank, straighten out your legs and either stack your feet, or you can set your top foot, so your left foot, in front of the right foot. This helps with balance. Keep that belly button pulled in. Try to use that mirror to check if you're pulling your hips up enough. Now exhale back to the mat, and we're going to switch over to the left side. Last one. Find your balance. Let your core support you here. Your legs are straight and strong, and your shoulders are rolled back towards each other. Bring your hands back to the mat. Drop your knees to the mat and sit back to child's pose. Relax here. How are those shoulders feeling? They feel alive? Breathe here. And let your breath stretch your ribs, stretch your shoulder blades, get some space across your back. Inhale, come back to forearm plank. Remember to press your hands flat into the mat. Don't clench your fists. Hold that forearm plank, and you're going to raise your right foot a few inches off the mat without letting your hips twist. Exhale it back down. Inhale your left foot. Exhale back down. Go back and forth. Keep your core strong. Don't let yourself wiggle side to side. You're challenging your glutes here, your hamstrings, and your core stability. Don't let your shoulders scrunch up to your ears either. Press the mat away by pressing your whole forearm into the mat. Now drop your head down as though you're moving into down dog while keeping your forearms pressed into the mat. You're moving into dolphin pose here. Walk your feet up. Let your head drop down. It'll probably be right above the mat. This challenges your shoulders a little bit more than down dog. Breathe here. And then bring your knees to the mat and settle back to child's pose. Take 5 really long, slow breaths here, letting your heart rate come down. And then bring your arms around so your hands are touching your feet, and let your shoulders drop down around your knees. Press your forehead into the mat. You're just relaxing your shoulders in a slightly different direction now. 5 more long, slow breaths. Mindfully calming yourself here. Bring your hands back underneath you. Come back to hands and knees, and let's stretch to down dog. And just take a quick check of your body and notice how your shoulders and your legs and your hips are feeling. Inhale, step your right foot up. Spin your left heel down for warrior 1. Coming back up, and we're going to do a little more leg work. Breathe here. Pressing your feet away from each other like you're trying to rip the mat apart with your feet. And then spin your left heel down for warrior 2. Open your arms. Notice that external rotation of your thighs as the inner thighs spin up and the outer thighs roll back. Breathe, and then straighten your right leg. Reach your arm forward like you're trying to touch the wall in front of you, and then drop your hand down to your shin, And twist your chest open, reaching your left arm towards the ceiling for triangle pose. Breathe here, nice long slow breaths. Bring both hands back to your mat and grab that block if you would like it. Shift your weight onto your right foot, and you're going to start to float your left foot up. Once you've found your balance on that right foot, you can raise your arms, reaching for that wall in front of you, challenging yourself to keep that right leg straight as you root down through your foot, and raise your left leg, creating a nice T for Warrior 3. Exhale, and as smoothly as you can, bring your left foot back to the mat, stepping into a lunge. And then exhale, press back to down dog. Long, slow breaths here. And then inhale, step your left foot up, spin your right heel down, and come up to Warrior 1. Breathe. Pressing your feet into the mat, pull that mat apart with your feet. And then spin your right heel down, opening up to Warrior 2. You can walk your foot out a little bit if you want to sink a little deeper here. Let your shoulders stack right over your hips. And then inhale, straighten out your left leg. Reach towards the wall in front of you as you tip your pelvis, and then drop your left hand to your shin, reaching your right hand overhead. Keep that external rotation on both your arms so your shoulders are still rolling back and down towards each other, keeping your chest open. Both legs are straight, your feet are pressing evenly into the mat. Inhale, come back up. And then go ahead and grab your block if you need it. Put it right in front of your foot, about a foot in front. And shift your weight onto your left leg, floating your right leg up. And once you've found your balance here, you can reach your arms overhead, reaching for that wall in front of you. Slowly, calmly as you can, reaching and working yourself into that T as you root down and through your foot. Keep that belly button pulled into your spine, it helps. Exhale, set your right foot down as smoothly as you can, and then step back to down dog. Breathe here and pedal out those feet. Inhale, come back to hands and knees and grab your block. We're going to do seated hero on the block. So have your knees together and one foot on each side of the block. The tops of your feet press into the mat and your knees squeeze together. Stack your shoulders over your hips and let your head rest right on top. And bringing your hands to prayer, just settle into where you are now. Do a little mental scan of your body. Come back to your breath. Notice if you're breathing a little quicker than normal. And now we're going to start slowing down your breath. Exhale and bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee and gently twist yourself open to the left, reaching your left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen your spine up, and exhale, twist a little deeper. That twist should come from right around your waist, not your low back. So if you feel it in your low back, just reduce your twist a little bit. Come back to start. Inhale here, and then exhale. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and reach your right arm behind you. Inhale and lengthen your spine up, and then exhale, twist a little deeper. Release that twist, coming back to center. We're going to move into another seated twist. Bring your right foot towards your left outer hip and cross your left leg on top, bringing your left foot to the outside of your right knee. If you want to keep sitting on the block, you can, but you can move the block away if you're not terribly tight in your hips. Bring your right elbow outside to the outside of your left knee and gently twist yourself open. You can twist open to prayer, or you can reach your hand behind you, like you see me doing. Release the twist and let's switch the cross of your legs. Your left leg is on the bottom this time. Cross your right foot to the outside of your left knee and either wrap your arm around your right knee, or you can bring your left elbow to hook on the outside of your right knee. Gently twist yourself open. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Slowly unwind. And our last seated twisting posture is going to be cow's face pose. So bring your left foot to the outside of your right hip and then stack your right leg on top, either resting your shin or your right knee on top of your left knee. Make sure you can settle both hip bones into the mat. And then inhale your left arm up and overhead. Either use the strap or you can go for the full bind. Make sure you tuck those ribs down. You're not overarching your back. And settle into this stretch. Lean your head away from that upper arm to really get into your neck. Breathe here nice and slow. Release your arms and then reach them forward, folding forward over your knees to come into a deeper hip stretch. You can rest your hands on the mat, let your head rest on your knees, or find whatever position is most comfortable that allows you to release those hips. Walk your hands back up to start and bring your left elbow to your right knee. Hook it there and bring your hands to prayer, twisting yourself to the right. And this just gets into a deeper area in the hip. You might notice it if you're pretty tight, or you might not notice it. And it's still a good core control practice. Good detoxifying twist. Release your hands. Reach your hands behind you. Open up that chest. And go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. Your right leg is on the bottom, left leg is on top. Both sit bones press into the mat. And bring your right arm overhead, your left arm under, and either use the strap or go for a full bind. And tilt your head away from your upper arm. And find that intense neck stretch. You might have to play with the angle of your head to find which muscles are tightest. Nice long, slow breaths here. Release your arms, walk them out in front of you, and fold forward across your legs. Sink into that hip stretch. Use nice, long, slow breaths to both calm your heart rate and open up those tight spaces. Walk your hands back up and hook that right elbow outside of your left leg, twisting yourself to the left. Bring your hands to prayer. A little bit more detoxifying twist before we settle in for Shavasana. Unwind and reach your arms behind you, open your chest. You can keep your chin tucked, or if it feels good, tilt your head back and let your neck open too. Breathe here. And slowly curl yourself back up, untwist your legs and straighten them out in front of you. Do a little of the reverse motion here. Lean forward, walk your hands down your shins, and grab your feet if you're able to. You can also use the block to flatten your feet and get that deep calf stretch. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Roll those shoulders back. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Really releasing those hamstrings with your breath. Go ahead and set the block aside. Bend your knees and slowly roll yourself down to the mat. Roll your shoulder blades together and down. Let your arms fall open to the sides, your palms facing up. Press your low back into the mat and straighten out your legs. Let your feet fall open. Take one more long, slow, deep breath, expanding your ribs all the way, filling those lungs. And exhale fully, letting your body drop into the mat. Let go of all control and let your mat hold you up. And bring yourself to a place where you can simply watch. You can be. Just be where you are right now. You don't need to have any control over anything. And as you let your body settle, know that this is good work too. You did all of that physical work, and now it's time to let your body settle into where it is now. So take your time, breathe here, watch your breath come in and out, and give yourself permission to take this time to rest. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bend your knees and your elbows. Come back to your body. And slowly roll over to one side and sit up. Come back to a nice, easy seat. Bring your hands to prayer. Close your eyes for a moment and settle into your body where it is now. Notice where it is, how it's feeling, and accept that feeling. And be grateful for the time you spent today. Bow down to the highest within you, and thank you all for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful week. Namaste.